Go Premanandi. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribrajikacharya Sutarasata Sri Srimad, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Samstapakacharya, BBT Samstapakacharya, His Ever-Loving Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Nitya Lila Pravishta, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Grantaraj Sri Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. May the goddess of learning forgive me for speaking in front of devotees more learned than myself. I can only hope that they will pull from my tongue something with their ears, magnetic ears. It's my only hope.
Anyone want a straw?
I tried it from here. I don't think it would work. I don't think it would work. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Reading from Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter. Stop me if I'm wrong. 11th verse. Correct? The last chapter shloki. May the Lord have mercy on the devotees' souls if I have the final word. Okay, tell me what to do. Normal. Normal. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 10, the opulence of the absolute, text number 11. Tesham eva anukampa artam aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atmabhava staha jnana Deepena Baswata Tesham Evanukam Partam Aham Ajnana Jam Tamaha Nashayam Yatma Bhavasto Jnana Deepena Baswata Tesham Evanukam Partam Aham Ajnana Jam Tamaha Nashayam Yatma Bhavasto Jnana Deepena Bhasvata Tesham Evanukam Partam Aham Ajnana Jam Tamaha Nashayam Yatma Bhavasto Jnana Deepena Bhasvata. Tesham, for them. Eva, certainly. Anukampa artam, to show special mercy. Aham, I, Ajnanajam, due to ignorance. Tamaha, darkness. Nashayami, dispel. Atmabhava, within their hearts. Staha, situated. Jnana, of knowledge. Deepena, with the lamp. Bhasvata, glowing. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Please repeat. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When Lord Chaitanya was in Benares promulgating the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, thousands of people were following him. Prakashananda Saraswati, a very influential and learned scholar in Benares at the time, derided Lord Chaitanya for being a sentimentalist. Sometimes Mayavadi philosophers criticize the devotees because they think that most of the devotees are in the darkness of ignorance and are philosophically naive sentimentalists. Actually, that is not the fact. There are very, very learned scholars who have put forward the philosophy of devotion. But even if a devotee does not take advantage of their literatures or of his spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within his heart. So the sincere devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. The only qualification is that one carry out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. The Mayavadi philosophers think that without discriminating, one cannot have pure knowledge. For them, this answer is given by the Supreme Lord. Those who are engaged in pure devotional service, even though they be without sufficient education and even without sufficient knowledge of the Vedic principles, are still helped by the Supreme God, as stated in this verse. The Lord tells Arjuna that basically there is no possibility of understanding the supreme truth, the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead, simply by speculating. For the supreme truth is so great that it is not possible to understand Him or to achieve Him simply by making a mental effort. Man can go on speculating for several millions of years, and if he is not devoted, if he is not a lover of the supreme truth, he will never understand Krishna or the supreme truth. Only by devotional service is the supreme truth, Krishna, pleased, and by his inconceivable energy, he can reveal himself to the heart of the pure devotee. The pure devotee always has Krishna within his heart, and with the presence of Krishna, who is just like the sun, the darkness of ignorance is at once dissipated. This is the special mercy rendered to the pure devotee by Krishna. Due to the contamination of material association through many, many millions of births, one's heart is always covered with the dust of materialism. But when one engages in devotional service and constantly chants Hare Krishna, the dust quickly clears and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. The ultimate goal, Vishnu, can be attained only by this chant and by devotional service, and not by mental speculation or argument. The pure devotee does not have to worry about the material necessities of life. He need not be anxious, because when he removes the darkness from his heart, everything is provided automatically by the Supreme Lord, who is pleased by the loving devotional service of the devotee. This is the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. By studying Bhagavad Gita, one can become a soul completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord and engage himself in pure devotional service. As the Lord takes charge, one becomes completely free from all kinds of materialistic endeavors. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Mukkam Karadivachalam Pangam Longayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Bande Shigurun Dinataranam Namashreshtamanum Apisati Putram Atrasarupam Rupam Tasyagrajam Urupurim Maturim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivadamaho Radhika Madhavasam Prapto Yasya Patita Kripayo Shigurun Tannatosmi Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Purijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hantaya Madalabala Haridasya Vayo Yad Rama Krishna Charana Sparasha Pramodaha Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostu Yoyat Paniya Suyavasakandana Kandamulahai Matsamo Nasti Papatma Napadadi Nakaschana Puri Hare Pilajjame Kim Ruve Purushottama Yubatinam Tatayuni Yunam Cha Yavatau Yata Mano Vidabhate Tadvam Mano Me Ramatam Twayi Bhumau skalita padanam bhumireva balambanam tui jata padadanam tvameva sharanam prabho. Govinda balabe radhe pratyetamaham sada tudiyam iti janatu govindomam tvaya saha. Radhe vrindavanadishe karunamritavahini kripaya tavapadabja dasyam mayam pradiyatam. Hare Krishna. Do we have 7th Canto Bhagavatam here? Must have. When Gopinathacharya, the brother-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, was arguing with the Bhattacharya's followers, they could understand by the obvious symptoms of Lord Chaitanya that he was a great soul, but they couldn't accept 7th. But they couldn't accept that he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, in the course of that discussion, it was either them or Sarvabhauma himself challenged Gopinathacharya. So what is the evidence that you've received the mercy of the Lord? The idea was that what Gopinathacharya put forward was that you can understand, that he's the Lord by his mercy. And so the challenge was, well, what is the evidence that you've received his mercy? And the answer was very simple, and to a erudite scholar, it may even have sounded circular, like circular reasoning. But the answer was knowledge that Lord Chaitanya, Mahaprabhu, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is evidence in itself that you've received the mercy of the Lord. This is the bottom line. It's the bottom line, and it's what makes Krishna consciousness unique and the most powerful system of yoga and of a transcendental knowledge. So the question arises from the purport: what is a sincere devotee? Because it says here, Srila Prabhupada says, that all that is required is that a person perform sincere devotional service. So I was thinking about it. I often think about this, actually. And I remembered when Prahlad Maharaj was speaking to his classmates. Wow, I opened it almost to the right verse. How about that? Krishna. And I think within this instruction of Prahlad Maharaj is contained the essence of this verse and the essence of devotional service. What is it that makes one sincere? One time one of us came to Prabhupada and asked Prabhupada, How can I become sincere? And he answered, be sincere. So, the onus is actually on us. It's not on Krishna. It's true that we have to be chosen by Krishna in order to actually wake up. But what is it that motivates Krishna to choose us? He's not partial, although there's a verse that says that he seems like he is. Sometimes it appears like he is, but he's not partial. He's like the sun. Sun shines everywhere, available to everyone. But if someone chooses to stay inside a cave, they're not going to get the benefit of the sun. Like the owl. The owl chooses to keep his eyes closed during the sunlight, so nobody can explain to him what the sun is like. So, let's hear this verse. Nalam dvichatvam devatvam rishitvam vasuratmajaha prinanaya mukundasya navritam na bahugyata nadanam natapo neja na shocham na vritanicha priyate malaya bhaktya harir anyad vidambanam. This is the 7th canto, 7th chapter, verse 51 and 52, in case you want to make a note. My dear friends, O sons of the demons, you cannot please the Supreme Personality of Godhead by becoming perfect brahmanas, demigods, or great saints, or by becoming perfectly good in etiquette or vast learning. None of these qualifications can awaken the pleasure of the Lord. Nor by charity, austerity, sacrifice, cleanliness, or vows can one satisfy the Lord. The Lord is pleased only if one has unflinching, unalloyed devotion to Him. Without sincere devotional service, everything is simply a show. I didn't even remember that word was there, sincere. Isn't that something? I didn't remember that. I didn't plan to quote this verse either. It just came out right when I looked at all of you. Amazing. This is evidence in itself. This is how Krishna works. This is how this verse is describing exactly the reality. Purport. Prahlad Maharaj concludes. Interesting that he's concluding, and this is the last verse of the Chatur Shloki Bhagavad Gita, which is the actual end. It's the conclusion. Prahlad Maharaj concludes that one can become perfect by serving the Supreme Lord sincerely by all means. Material elevation to life as a brahmana, demigod, rishi, and so on are not causes for developing love of Godhead. But if one sincerely engages in the service of the Lord, his Krishna consciousness is complete. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9:30. Apichet surudacharo bhajate mam ananyabhak sadureva samantavyak samyak vyavasito hisaha. Even if one commits the most abominable actions, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated. To develop unalloyed love for Krishna is the perfection of life. Other processes may be helpful, but if one does not develop his love for Krishna, these other processes are simply a waste of time. Dharmak sunustita pumsang vishwaksena katasuyaha notpadayat yadiratim shama eva hi kevalam. Duties, dharma, executed by men, regardless of occupation, are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the Supreme Lord. Bhagavatam 128. The test of perfection is one's unalloyed devotion to the Lord. So, this is very interesting because the qualities here that are acknowledged do not please the Lord are all positive. They're all very positive. Ordinarily, when we think of being unflinching, we think of being confronted with some kind of setback or some kind of reversal in life. And maintaining our faith and devotion in Krishna in the face of it. This is what unflinching means. Inherently in the word unflinching, there must be some cause to flinch over which you don't flinch for the word to have meaning. There's no meaning to the word unflinching unless there's something coming at you that's going to cause you to flinch, and then you don't flinch. This is the test of sincerity. But in this verse, it's describing just the opposite. That even if you have vast learning, even if you're perfectly good in etiquette, a perfect brahmana, great saint, charity, give in charity, perform austerity, sacrifice, all these things are positive things. They're also causes of flinching. Otherwise, why would this be in the verse? These things can be more difficult to push on with sincere, humble devotional service than the obstacles that we were mentioning, the setbacks. Prabhupada used to use the example, if you're passing on the road and there's some horrible accident, and every time there's a horrible accident on the road, there's a traffic jam because everybody slows down because they want to look. And often the response is, "Oh my God, did you see that?" And due to our depraved nature, which Prabhupada describes here in this purport, after millions and millions and millions of births, we become a little bit habituated to depravity. When we get something good, the tendency is to forget the Lord. The conditioned soul is very easy to take credit for something that good happens to them. Just see what I have done. And when something bad happens, the materialist will immediately, or anyway, blame the Lord, or if they're not a personalist, Providence, or whatever. So sincere devotional service means to not respond to those things which are abominable, or those things which are exceptional, or even those things that are neutral. Because the truth is, the only purpose of anything that happens to us is to give us an opportunity to show Krishna that our faith and devotion will not flinch under any circumstance. And the test of that is to whether or not you continue to serve. You don't go away. One time I remember Srila Prabhupada saying, I was in the room when he said it, he said, so, now, after so many births you've come to the lotus feet of Krishna. So, it was during an initiation lecture. He said, so now, I just ask one thing of you. Don't go away. The essence of this verse, the essence of devotional life, the essence of devotional service. And for a person who's in that mentality, who's in that consciousness, who's not trying to do business with Krishna. I'm not serving Krishna to get something. I'm not serving Krishna to impress someone, to get reputation, to get fame, to get adoration, to get distinction of any kind. I'm here because I want to please you. This is sincere devotion. And you may be the most innocent, inexperienced, naive person. Just like a father who has a little baby, barely able to walk, barely able to do anything, to recognize. If he comes to his father and to give him something, the father's money has purchased it, a piece of candy or anything of practically no value to the father. It comes with this, baby face, open heart, pure, Daddy, this is for you. No, the heart just opens immediately. Whereas if a very sophisticated son who's gotten his PhD and has done so many things brings to his father something really outstanding, hoping that the father will, use his good offices to get him a good whatever position or a good. It doesn't ring the bell. It doesn't ring the bell in the heart of the father, like just the innocent, inexperienced, ignorant child who's giving something simply because just to give it, no other reason. This is pure devotional service. It what pleases Krishna, and Srila Prabhupada said many times that the perfection of that service is to chant Hare Krishna in the mood of a baby crying for its mother. Just after that verse, which I didn't remember, was quoted in this purport of the Bhagavatam, which is also hinted at in the verse that we're studying today. The verse after Apichet, Surura Chado, Bhajate Mam Ananya Bhak, Sadhur Eva Samantavya. Notice that this is the verse in which Krishna defines what a sadhu is. And it begins, Apichet Surura Chado. It doesn't begin that he's pure, he's all this, he's that, he's that. He's saying even if he's engaged in an abominable activity, if he continues with his devotional service without stopping, he's to be considered samyak vyapasito hi saham. 931, I think, no? 931. I'm looking for 931. Chipram Bhavati Dharmatma. Shasvas Chantim Nigachditi. Kontya Pratijanihi. Name Bhakta Pranashiti. This is the follow-up of this Apichet Surarajatam. It means he doesn't, he takes special care of his devotees. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Purport. This should not be misunderstood. In the 7th chapter, the Lord says that one who is engaged in mischievous activities cannot become a devotee of the Lord. One who is not a devotee of the Lord has no good qualifications whatsoever. The question remains then, how can a person engaged in abominable activities, either by accident or by intention, be a pure devotee? This question may justly be raised. The miscreants, as stated in the 7th chapter, who never come to the devotional service of the Lord, have no good qualifications. As is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, generally a devotee who is engaged in the 9 kinds of devotional activities is engaged in the process of cleansing all material contamination from the heart. He puts the Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart, and all sinful contaminations are naturally washed away. Continuous thinking of the Supreme Lord makes him pure by nature. According to the Vedas, there is a certain regulation that if one falls down from his exalted position, he has to undergo certain ritualistic processes to purify himself. But here there is no such condition, because the purifying process is already there in the heart of the devotee, due to his remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead constantly. Therefore, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, should be continued without stoppage. I love that word, Prabhupada, just without stoppage. Reminds me of a sign somewhere in a train station or something, Fantastic. This will protect a devotee from all accidental fall downs. He will thus remain perpetually free from all material contaminations. This is not such an easy thing to understand or to accept. The proof of this is there was a great acharya. Stop me if I get the name wrong, Pandit Ji. Arjunacharya? Yamunacharya? Arjunacharya. Arjunacharya was writing a commentary on the Gita. And he came to this verse, Ananyas chintyanto mam ye janak prayupasate tesham nitya vayuktanam yoga chemam pahamyaham. 9th chapter, 22. Don't have to go very far. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack, and I preserve what they have. So when Arjunacharya came upon this verse and to do his commentary, he doubted this last part of the Sanskrit, that Krishna personally does it, carries, and he thought, well, that can't quite be right. Then he kind of, he scratched the words out, and he was thinking about it. He was deeply contemplating how to comment on this. And then he went to the river to take a bath. And while he was gone, these two young boys came. His wife was preparing prasadam for her husband, and they were very poor. They had practically nothing. And these two boys came, and they had a load of different items for cooking, like vegetables and fruits and grains and spices, and they were carrying them on, what do they call that, with a rod and yoke, whatever. And they were laboring. And the wife said, "Who are you?" She said, "Well, your husband sent us with this food." And she said, "Really?" She said, "Oh, surprising, my husband would ask two gentle young boys like you to carry such a big load." "Oh yes," they said. "And in order to make us do it, he beat us." She said, "My husband beat you? You're so attractive, young boys. You're beautiful. How is this?" "Yeah, look here." And they turned their backs and they saw these marks on the back, like somebody had beaten them. She was like, just upset like anything. They said, "Anyway, here, he told us to give you this, so we're giving it to you, but we're not going to stick around because, he's liable to beat us again, so we're leaving." So they left, and then, Arjuna Acharya came back. His wife's looking at him. What about me? Well, I didn't. Look at all that food. Where did you get this? These two boys came. You sent them. Don't give me any story now. You sent them, and you abused them. Abused them? Me? Out of character completely. She was convinced because that was, who. It was Krishna and Balaram. So then he thought, this is impossible. And then he thought, and he went to his book, and he saw that the part of the verse that he was thinking about had been finished. And it, confirmed that the Lord personally comes and takes care of the devotee. And then he understood, when I scratched out those words are none different than Krishna. Bhagavad Gita is none different than Krishna. So it was like I was beating them, and now they came personally to show me that they do come and they do give. That this is pure faith. And this is the subject matter of this verse. Pure faith. I remember once Prabhupada said, if you can just accept, really accept, not show bottle, not just putting on a show, but really accept that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you immediately become elevated to a high stature of devotional life. And this was the meaning of Gopinath Acharya's words. If you can just accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting, Yomam evam asamudo. Asamudo means without doubting. Janati Purushottamam. That Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sarvavid Bhajatimam Sarva Bhavana Bharata. You are the knower of everything. You are the knower of everything means not that you know everything. One time in New York, there was excuse the expression in the Holy Dham, a smart-ass journalist was interviewing Prabhupada. And The guy was so full of himself, and Prabhupada, he was like dealing with a baby. So, Swamiji, your guru? Prabhupada, yes. So the guru is supposed to know everything. Yes. How many windows are in the Empire State Building? This is true. It's a true story. Prabhupada didn't blink. He didn't hesitate for a second. He said, how many drops of water are there in a mirage? And the whole room just changed, and the guy went, into his real bhav. And Prabhupada shone like the guru he was. See? How many drops of water are there in a mirage? Anytime we start to try to figure it out ourselves, this is what happens. We come to this. And we're so proud. We've been here for a long, long time, as it says in the purport. We think we know it all. And especially we know little Gita. Prabhupada says the difference between India and everywhere else is everybody thinks they're guru because everybody knows some verses of the Gita. Even if they don't know anything. To know everything in that verse means that Krishna is there in your heart. Confirmed. Confirmed. Shook him up that time. To know everything means, okay, come back. We're doing good so far. Concentrate. To know everything means that Krishna provides what you need to know when you need to know it. And all you have to do is trust Him. And act in such a way that He will trust you. Because trust is a two-way street. Trust is a two-way street. No one should demand the trust of another person unless they trust that person. Krishna is just like that. He wants to trust us. And when we're trusted, when we're trustworthy, then He gives Himself. And from within our hearts, He gives us whatever we need, whenever we need it. And this is how we earn it. By developing unalloyed devotion, unflinching, unalloyed devotion for Him. That's it. That's the conclusion of the Vedas. It's the conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita. It's the essence of the Vedas. Prabhupada said, Krishna consciousness is so simple, we miss it. Why we miss it? Because we're so darn complicated. Yeah. We just can't accept it. And in every language, there's this phrase, this reaction. When I was in Spain, they would say, I would be preaching, and they would say, sí, pero. Sí, pero. In English, yes, but. Yes, that's okay, but what about this? Oh, yeah, that's right, but then there's this. And what about that? What about this? What about that? And what about this? What about that? And it goes on and on and on for millions and millions and millions of births. And all we have to do is to take that word out of our vocabulary when Krishna says something to us. Then he'll trust us. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. Hare Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. So, we're past 6 o'clock, so I was hoping he wouldn't, but he's going to. He's going to ask me a question I can't answer to prove that I'm not up to snuff.
It's a real simple question.
Oh, great. That's a relief.
In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that...
in the purport to which verse? The one where...
text 11, chapter 10.
Yeah.
He says, but even if a devotee does not take advantage of their literatures, meaning the literatures of the acharyas, or of his spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he's helped by Krishna himself within his heart. So the sincere devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. So my question is, how is it that a person is sincere but doesn't take advantage of his spiritual master?
I'll give you an example. The Brahmin in South India, who was illiterate, his spiritual master told him to read the Bhagavad Gita every day. Now, he couldn't because he was illiterate. But he was simple-hearted, very simple-hearted. And he was doing it. He was trying to do it. Sincerely trying to do it. And even the village people who knew him and knew who he was, they were all, razzing him. Teasing him. Well, Brahman, what did you learn today? And he was just a very simple-hearted person with no qualifications practically whatsoever. He couldn't even read and write. And then Lord Chaitanya came and he was watching. And he came up to him also and said, well, Brahman, what are you doing? But he understood instinctively, intuitively, that this person is not teasing me. He's more serious. He said, well, I'm trying to read the Gita, but unfortunately I'm illiterate. I can't read it, and therefore... He said, well, then why are you doing it? And he said, my Guru Maharaj asked me to, so I'm trying my best. I feel like I'm letting him down. And he said, so is that why you're crying? Because I notice sometimes that you cry. He said, well, yes, I cry sometimes because, I go to lectures and I listen. And I heard that Krishna becomes the servant of his devotee. And when I pick up this Gita, this image comes into my mind. That Krishna, driving the chariot of his devotee, Arjun. And even doing what Arjun told him. And when I think of that, I become emotional and I cry. And then Lord Chaitanya actually with his own hands picked him up and embraced him. And he said, you are the knower of the Gita. So, I think that's what it means. That even if a person can't, follow the order of the Guru, so strictly, but if they're sincere and they're trying, sincerely trying, not putting on a show, then they get the mercy of the Lord by that sincerity, by that simplicity. But this is not to be taken lightly. It's not to be taken advantage of, Krishna's mercy or Krishna's soft-heartedness. It's not an easy platform to attain because, as I've repeated in the class and it's in the purport, due to many, many millions of births, we have second nature habits that are very difficult to break. And this is the big one. The big one. The tendency to argue, the tendency to, want to put ourselves in some kind of position, pride, temptation to act in such a way as to become a reputed devotee. And Krishna has his ways. He'll slap you down. And he'll embarrass you in front of everyone to see if you still love him. If you're still willing to chant his name with genuine affection. So it's up to us to as I said before, it's up to us to act in a way that Krishna will trust us. And here in this case, this Brahmin, illiterate Brahmin, he wasn't even thinking like that. He was just very simple-hearted. Not qualified materially with any of these qualifications that are given in that Bhagavatam verse. And yet he was sincere in his devotional service, even though it really didn't have any practical, in a sense, value. Prabhupada said this is the glory of this process that Lord Chaitanya gave, and the glory of Lord Chaitanya, that he would give he knows everything. He knows what a fallen age this is, what fallen persons we are, just how unqualified we are in terms of these exalted qualities being discussed in this Bhagavatam verse. He just wants us to chant Hare Krishna sincerely and not stop under any conditions. And to the extent that you've done that, we can define the word constant. Constant can mean without stoppage, as Prabhupada said, 24/7. Or it can mean regularly. Do your rounds regularly, every day, no matter what. No matter what happens, no matter how much you think your chanting is like this or like that or like this, or no matter how much or not you're getting taste or whatever, you just chant your rounds. Don't stop under any circumstance. If you have some accidental fall down sometime or some horrific thing happens or some really great thing happens and you're so overwhelmed with service that you can't chant. No, you chant. Don't stop chanting. Don't stop chanting your rounds under any condition. And Krishna really appreciates that. And he gives you intelligence, he gives you knowledge, he gives you strength, he gives you everything that you need. So the Brahmin was doing this. He was reading 18 chapters a day, turning the pages. He said, read the whole Bhagavad Gita. How many of us can read the whole Bhagavad Gita every day? It's not normal. What to speak if you couldn't read it? And you're going to sit there going through it every day without understanding what you were saying, what you were hearing. But he had heard from the classes and he understood spiritual intelligence. It's different than material qualification and material intelligence. Something? Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Huh? How many years? 13 years. It took me to get around.